Hello, welcome to Violet Shadow Tarot. Today I will be doing a reading for the sign of Cancer. So we are going to pull some oracles first and then move on to the tarot. Let's see what our Cancer community needs to see. What message needs to come through for Cancer? Prudence. There are two cards, so we're going to take both of them. Prudence, self-assured honesty, integrity, perceptiveness, and clear-mindedness. Is there more? No. And then we also have Sage, harmony, acceptance, calm, serenity, and patience. Okay. These are very interesting cards. Let's see what else comes out for you, Cancer. Forgive, full moon in Pisces. And then, what else does Cancer need to see? The Hawk and the Thistle, graceful persistence. This is kind of really beautiful energy here. So let's continue with some tarot. I'll pull out some past, present, and future energies. But right with these cards right here, there's a sort of like calming, healing, getting through something, moving forward from something sort of energy here that's very pleasant. It's a good energy. So let's see what we have from the tarot. Let's look at the past energies for Cancer. Past energies for Cancer. Three of Swords in reverse, the Six of Cups, and then the Tower in reverse. Okay. So Cancer here, this is for the past. This is some sort of event or situation that has happened that it almost looks like you either were reminiscing about something, not necessarily that happened, but after this happened, you kind of were looking at the past to try to pull from like your past experiences to remember better times. Maybe in a way that you were not fully looking into what actually had just happened, but there was something about looking at the past to get through something or to maintain yourself through a situation that was painful to go through or was abrupt change. Like there was some sort of change that happened. It's when I was looking at this card, when this card came out, this is the Sage. This figure, it almost looks like they're reminiscing. They're looking in a way, it's like this very peaceful, maybe they're looking for peace. Maybe that's what you were doing, but it's like a very, and it even says calm and acceptance. So it's like that helped you, or that's the way that you coped with some sort of situation. We have honesty, integrity, open-mindedness, harmony, serenity, patience, gracefulness, forgive. Like all of this is kind of like a letting go and accepting sort of energy. But here, I'm not necessarily getting that for your past energies. So let's keep going and let's see like your current energy. Let's see where your current energy is here. I'm interested in knowing how this kind of is going about. So current energy for Cancer, Page of Swords in reverse, the Three of Cups in reverse, and Strength in reverse. Let's keep going. Let's see future. Cancer, future. The Five of Swords in reverse, the Emperor, and then the King of Wands. Okay. Overall all, bottom of the deck, the Nine of Swords. Okay. So what I'm getting here for you, Cancer, is this is almost like your top row here is almost like your advice. I'm still going to pull advice for this, but it's almost like it's your oracles came out in a way of how to get through something. So maybe you felt stuck in some way, or not being able to move forward, or just unsure about a lot, how to get through something. And this has come through for like the energies that would be helpful for you. So your current energy, the Page of Swords in reverse, the Three of Cups in reverse, Strength in reverse. This is giving the vibes of like, again, something, it's not that I'm not getting that you are avoiding something on purpose. It's something that was really hard to deal with though. And you just didn't know how to deal with it. And I think that you felt very alone in that situation. Strength being in reverse, that's not necessarily like it's not, it can talk about avoidance, but again, I don't think that this is something that you were knowingly doing. I think that this was a way of coping that you just didn't know about. Maybe you feel like you didn't have the strength to be able to deal with something, but again, it's like it's reminiscing on something or looking into the past of a past event or something that has put you in this sort of energy, and not knowing how to move forward through it. With the Three of Cups, a Three of Cups can simply talk about like a lack of cohesion. It can talk about, reoccurring kind of issues. It can talk about some sort of betrayal. And with the Strength sitting here in reverse, it's kind of like maybe you are kind of trying to make sense of what happened, and like, did you ignore something? Did you miss, some of your own, the cues that are like naturally in us, that are like our instincts and the systems that alert us to, certain things that are going on that don't feel right. If something doesn't feel right, there's like a reason, kind of. Maybe you feel like you missed something and you're trying to kind of make sense of it all, because the Page of Swords, you can't see it because she was behind everything else, but she's reading a book, and it's talking about learning, using knowledge. Swords can talk about knowledge and intellect. So I feel like maybe that might be where you're at right now. You're just trying to make sense of everything. And again, this row up here was talking about kind of your advice, because you needed advice. You were put through something, it looks like, that was just difficult to navigate for you. And in the future, we have the Five of Swords with the Emperor, and then the King of Wands. There's a shift here. So there's a shift, and I think the shift is you shifting out of this energy that you have been in into a stronger energy. We have the King of Wands here, who also now has the Strength card, which on the Strength card, there's normally a lion, a female individual with a lion, and now the King of Wands has this lion and is standing stronger. And of course you have the Emperor right behind, which is a very strong energy, taking some sort of control over something, becoming more confident, I think, is what you're going to be moving towards. Five of Swords in reverse, it's very, it's almost like it's like you're figuring out that you've been caught in something, maybe someone else's battle. You were looking at maybe how you may have done something or how you dealt with something, but you're coming out of that. You're coming into a sense of being able to look at whatever happened here, because it's not showing what happened there again. There's the Three of Swords in reverse here, the Tower. Somebody may have done something in the past that was some sort of betrayal or some sort of act that was very hurtful and very out of the blue. Excuse me. That's why I kind of, the instinct thing has come in, and so that rocked you in some sort of way. Maybe you feel like you've missed signs for something that you should have seen, but I don't know if the signs were there. We're not going to go too much into this. This is kind of a reading where I would like to pull more. But I feel like that's not the important thing. That's not what wants to come through. What wants to come through is how to get away from this. You may even be forgiving yourself here. It's forgiving yourself, but being able to move forward and understand like the difference between your energy and someone else's energy and what happened, whatever occurred. Knowing that, you know, you being in the energy of like honesty and integrity, and that's how you came about doing whatever in the situation. I don't think that that's what was matched. It doesn't look like that. But being able to accept that they made choices that you had no control over or didn't have to do with you, I'm getting. Excuse me. I had to take a sip of drink, but I think that what's really coming through is finding a way to move past it and be easier on yourself. When we talk about forgiveness, I'm not somebody. I'd like to say, instead of forgiving someone who has done something bad to you, you don't have to forgive. I don't think that that's always the right words to use. I think that the better word to use, you can forgive yourself, because I think a lot of people are actually harder on themselves when people do bad things, because they always think, well, what could I have done to make something different? I think that when you're dealing with something, if you've dealt with, for me personally, if you've dealt with somebody who has done things that were very harmful that you would not do yourself, that have hurt you, instead of having to forgive somebody, you're not doing it for them. You're accepting their actions as their actions and understanding that they took these actions. You know, it doesn't matter why they took these actions. Sometimes it's hard that you want to figure something out why someone did that, but knowing that they did this and you had zero control over it is really, really important. I feel like that personally is where people get stuck. I don't think that everybody deserves someone's forgiveness. I think that, again, this is just my personal opinion. Forgiveness is something that you deserve on your own. To break free from any of the guilt that you feel because of what someone else has done. You know, there's little things that you absolutely can forgive, but if you're in a situation where you're feeling pressured to like forgive, I think that can be really difficult for someone to be forced to forgive. I don't think that actually happens in a lot of cases, and it can keep you in a negative sort of cycle. But again, I am not a professional psychologist, anything. It's just, for me, that's what I feel. If you've had something really bad happen to you, you don't owe anybody your forgiveness. It's not for them. This is something for you. So I think accepting their behavior and what they did and then forgiving yourself, for me, means more. And maybe that's something, this is kind of what this is saying. Not quite, but it's definitely kind of pushing through something. Let me get what the advice is actually for this. What is the advice for Cancer? What advice do we need to see for Cancer? The Sun. Ooh. The Queen of Cups in reverse. The Knight of Swords in reverse. And the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. All right, so Cancer. it's kind of going back to someone else's actions, and we have cups here, we have swords here, we have pentacles here. But the sun card being here, this is a very big, this is going to be, you know, you're going to be okay. You're going to pull through this. This is a very good card. It's a good luck card. It's a prosperous sort of card. And being able to find stability in working through whatever happened to you because of, you know, if something negative happened, it caused all sorts of imbalances within you, within a situation, within this individual. There's a lot of cards that kind of, we have the Knight of Cups and then the Queen of Cups and then the Knight of Swords. These are, that are reverse. So these are cards that, you know, I do feel like you've dealt with something that was negative, like a negative, a immature sort of energy, not a very stable sort of energy, something that did hurt you emotionally. We have two things of cups here. So I think that that was difficult. But being able to kind of look at your actions and their actions separately is important, to know that, you know, your stability is something that you can give for yourself, and being able to say that you are somebody that works out of, you know, integrity and honesty, and keeping true to yourself, and that sort of energy, like that's being your energy, that's very grounding in itself, and it's very peaceful in itself. You know that you make choices that you're proud of, that you will stand by, or that don't cause you anguish. I think that's really important for you. So the healing will be coming, but there is a separation that needs to happen between someone else's actions and whatever it was, and your own. You are not that, basically, and you can move forward by continuing not to be that, and just staying true to yourself. So Cancer, I hope, I'm sending you all my love, and I hope that you know, if you did resonate with this, that you're doing okay. If you do need to reach out to somebody, to speak to somebody to kind of make more sense of this, because again, I'm not a professional at all. I'm just reading cards. Do so. Please do so. If you did resonate, let me know in some way. I do like to know that your message came through to you, and that I'm doing my job correctly. So thank you for being here. I hope to see you again soon, and you have a blessed day.